You know, for all of the obscure, disregarded, and underrated music I check out here on this channel, you'd probably think I'm some kind of pretentious egghead with my thumb up my ass on all matters popular. But you'd actually be wrong. In fact, one of my guiltiest pleasures is a genre of music that exists somehow simultaneously on TikTok and in the vintage record collection of Adolf Eichmann after he made it to Argentina fleeing World War II. My name is Cracksmoker96, your favorite virtual idol, and today we're going to be dipping our toes into the era of music that just won't go away, even after 100 years of societal degradation. That's right, the swing era. Also, the big band era to some extent, I guess. Alright, well actually, let's just say like the golden era. That covers it all. Just old shit. Okay.
It's the Triple Bepple Super Show!
Now, you probably already know what I mean when I say swing or big band style music. I mean, those bangers released between 1930 and 1950, like Nat King Cole, Bing Crosby, and maybe a little Frank Sinatra even. Yeah, he doesn't count, 1950s, whatever, I don't care, fuck you. But why are Zoomers and Millennials so attracted to it? Well, it's sort of a multi-stage answer there, and I'm not gonna dick you around, so let's just get into it. Firstly, this whole thing has to do with the societal connotations of the era itself, and how those connotations have evolved over time as a result of this era's representation in media. These connotations surround a hotly debated concept in American political history, the so-called quote-unquote golden era, following the conclusion of World War II. This period of time showed rapid economic growth among the American middle class between the late 1940s and the early 70s, during which more people became free to buy the epic products they wanted, buy the houses they needed to ensure the epic financial stability they wanted, and enjoy the epic quality of life upgrades that they could now afford. It was a time for many people in which the American dream was yet again possible. And as a result of this new cool thing called mutually assured nuclear destruction, it would either never ever go away, or disappear in a blink of an eye. So, basically a win-win. Passions ran high, and a blazing hot love punctuated by a slight feeling of doom or paranoia was what was served in art scenes across the country, whether it be illustration, graphic design, or music. While other countries reeled in pain from the horrors of the recent war, America was out there living life to the fullest. Fucking, sucking, causing the baby boom, buying houses, segregating. Man, what a time. What wasn't to love? Anyways, you're probably wondering where I was going with that. I know, I got a little sidetracked on the whole fucking and sucking thing, my bad. Basically, the music and the art that resulted from this time period had this whole, and I quote, "Live life to the fullest, passion is everything, also we could be blown apart in nuclear Armageddon at any moment" kind of vibe. Which I feel runs directly parallel to the sentiments of the current time. Some attributes of the era also provide a great contrast to the modern era, like how following World War II there was a greater trust in the government, and how there was a big economic boom at the time. It's a little bit the opposite right now, but I think the feeling still stands. It feels as though these factors, both the similarities and the differences, combine to create a bittersweet longing for the elegance, sophistication, and overall quality of life that the so-called golden era provided for Americans. And aside from the connotations that the art itself provides based on its historical context, some of the most popular pieces of media of this generation provide even more connotations and more context to beloved songs already established in the golden era, by recontextualizing them into a new form that's not only more relatable to the modern audience, but also builds upon the aforementioned built-in connotations with a modern flair. Now, does that not make sense? Okay. Well, here. Imagine literally any of the well over 100 movies that use a Frank Sinatra song to evoke a high-class atmosphere. Okay, that might have been too ambiguous. I'll use an example. Take Fallout, one of the, if not the, greatest video game series of all time. Not debatable. This channel is all about me. That's my opinion. I don't care. See, Fallout is a game series built around the tensions of the Golden Era / Cold War era, and uses Golden Era music in the new context of a post-nuclear apocalyptic wasteland. While the music itself isn't really a part of the game's ambient soundtrack, There's the constant option to tune into the radio, which brings you from a dirty little wasteland scavenger to a 50s style god amongst men who bobs his head to Love Me As Though There Was No Tomorrow while smashing a dude's brain out with a sledgehammer, then rifling through his pockets for 6 bottle caps. It's a good game. You should play it. This recontextualization sometimes draws upon the themes of elegance and sophistication that the music is known for, and sort of flips them on their head. It says to that golden era American from earlier in the video, well, here's what could have happened. And personally, I think it's pretty sick. This sort of almost pseudo-ironic use of the music as they reflect the sentiments of the time while being presented in a manner that runs completely contrary to their original context sort of reflects how we are today. Not only does this alternate history retelling kick ass conceptually, but it also introduced many across the last 2 generations to this type of music that could not only be used for its surface level meaning discussed earlier, but also for its irony in the context of the modern world, as it was used in Fallout. Golden Era music in the modern era holds its own themes of manic happiness and passion, while also having a slight tinge of what we would call doomerism in its framework. As a result of the historical context, this genre has remained culturally relevant as the world changes around it. And as a result of the constant recontextualization in modern media, it's able to go beyond relevant, and even becomes relatable to these people born 80 years after the song's release. Also, it just sounds good. It's straight up just good music. It took a lot of effort, a lot of passion, and a lot of drive to create a lot of these songs that we know and love today. And artists and producers in the modern era continue to use these songs created by people long dead in order to push their artistic vision beyond what the original artist intended. So yeah, that's it. Basically, TLDR. Golden Era music is about happiness, but also you're kind of afraid of nukes, and also it sounds good, and also people like it because it reflects the modern era in a way. I don't know if I freaking said it correctly, but I don't care. It's my channel. That's it. Thanks for watching. And as always,
Subscribe to make me feel better about my regrets.
also, if you hit that like button right now, that's right, I'm going to give you a free nuclear warhead. I'm going to be shipping a nuclear warhead to your house. I'm going to drop it right on your house if you hit that like button right now, so please do it. I would really appreciate it. As always, I'd like to give a special thank you and a special shout out to my patrons over at patreon.com. That's right, thank you guys for supporting my various vices and addictions. I really appreciate it. So, for our connoisseurs of fine art, we're going to start off by giving a shout out to Willow Sushi, Vershi, Thick Melon, Sad Femme, Rebecca, Prisoner Suicide, Polar, Mitkit, Lurker of the Gloom, Lexi, Kim, Derpy Doug, Conscious Junk, Chemicalist, and Chairfruit. For our pseudo-intellectual supporters, we've got Slow Slicing, that little green dog man Saws, the homie Maroney, Misos Al Pinks, and the one and only Zucchini. Now, last and most certainly not least, I'd like to give a super duper special thank you to my aficionados of degeneracy. For today, we've got Alan and Alec. Thank you guys all so much. I really appreciate your patronage and your support of me, because I'm the best. And yeah, that's it. I hope you have a delightful evening, and I'm being genuine about that. And as always, keep it real.